Speaking of danger and fear and things that scare you, ooh, an ooky spooky Halloween's just around the corner. Actually, no, it's not, which is why I think it's a good idea. Don't just say anything.
Vincent Price.
It's,
Vincent Price is here.
All right, well,
Is
Vincent
he alive?
It's like when people at a Tori Amos concert, they go like, they yell out, like, Angie Dickinson.
No,
and
I get
it's
it.
like, okay. I'm dating myself, which you can do. Look it up. 3 states allow it. You guys remember my neighbor Beth Bootzin of the eucalyptus tree? So I was just gonna bring her and her son Timur up, and we'll because if I try to introduce what we're talking about, I'll ruin it because I'm not a good
Welcome them
show
to the
host.
stage.
Here's Beth Bootzin and Timur.
Beth and Timur.
All right. So this is the Cameron, by the way. Beth, Cameron.
Whoa.
You have met. Okay.
We just met now. We met just now.
Nice.
Just now.
Boy, okay. I'm just worried about that mic, man. Worried about that mic.
It'll be fine.
Okay, so you guys are my neighbors.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh,
Timur, you want to
so
get a
good.
level?
Testing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's how you use a mic.
Okay, so it's what? It's August?
It started in May.
It's-
It started in May.
Okay, it started in May. But it started years ago. What are you guys talking about? Oh my God. It's like a Lifetime movie, like cold open crawl. What's happening?
Now, I know what this looks like. But before I was here, I gotta go. This is bad.
Right.
I'm bailing.
Freeze frame, this is me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Is that what you were trying to say?
That's the good version of what I was
Okay,
going
yeah.
This is why
I
you're a
got you.
professional.
I got you.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
This is why you took over my billboard.
She deserves more television than you.
No, that's what I said. I got great applause. It was great.
Timur.
Yeah.
It's Timur.
Correct.
Timur.
I don't know. Some people get it so wrong. Tumor. Like
Two more? People call you?
someone spelled my name like Timeour. Like what? Come on.
Timur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, pronounce it. So more Timur.
But if we're just in a rush, we can just go Timur and it's fine, right? Timur,
if it's fine by you, I guess.
So no.
All right, not a yes.
I think is it like it's Jamal but it's Timur? Is it like that? Is it like the emphasis has to be on the second syllable for it to be right?
You know what? I think technically it is Timur, but since he was little,
Well, everyone calls me Timur, so.
Timur.
so we've just gone with that.
All right.
Like Jamal. I was right. You're welcome.
All right, we'll get through this one step at a time.
No, we're doing it. I'm kicking ass. I'm so good.
One of our early conversations that we had as neighbors, I think, was like, oh, one of my sons, he has a haunted house and he's making it in the backyard. Is that going to be a problem? Is going to be people late? I've never, ever, once, ever, I don't think, complained to a neighbor about anything. I'm either forcing myself to stay awake and play Minecraft and tuning everything out, or I'm just like unconscious because I fell asleep against my will for the 3 hours between Adderalls that it takes, for me to recharge my brain and get out there and just damage myself more. So you're fine. But I could hear, so I hear your haunted house going on at haunted house time, and there's a thing playing on a loop that I've become familiar with. There's like a looped thing, and I kind of get into it. I'm like, but you've been doing this for years, and you're becoming one of these Halloween people. You're becoming a haunted house person. I don't want to categorize you. You thought you were special. I'm saying it's weird what you're. That's why you're here. You were going to talk. I'm sorry. You've been getting more and more into your haunted house every passing year. When did you start? What year?
I started, 5 years ago.
And so, that at that time, like how much before Halloween did you start making your haunted house?
I started about the first time I started was like a week before.
All right. So, and then the next year.
Well, I would disagree with that.
Oh, controversy.
Moms always win, so go ahead. Yeah.
Not on Harmontown.
I give up.
You know, this is going to be the worst possible thing I'm going to say, but Rhea has a super early call time, and I feel like I'm going to be useless in this haunted house conversation. I'm going to go to my house so that my wife can go to bed at some point, and I'm going to leave you guys. But, Dan, you have to take notes and tell me about it because I am neighbors
You're just
with
trying
you
to avoid
also.
the argument, aren't you?
Yeah.
The haunted house
What
controversy?
argument? I was not expecting an argument to happen. I thought you were going to lay out all your plans and that we were going to hear about it and that you were going to tell me your address so that I could come to your haunted house. But we'll figure that out later.
Timur's a
because I
birther.
also live in the neighborhood, so I'll see you guys there.
All right, watch Take My Wife on CISO. Cameron Esposito, everybody.
Thank you so
Guys,
much.
thank you so much.
I'm not a bad host. I said they had an out before, that's not my fault.
You were so good at hosting.
I'm so good at everything.
Yeah. No, it's great.
I'm good at sleeping next to a haunted house.
Yeah.
All right, so the first year, week before a haunted house, you throw up a haunted house. You obviously had a good time. Next year, you want to make another haunted house. You started probably a little earlier, right?
Yeah.
How much earlier?
A month and a half.
Okay,
Probably.
so now it's 2016. It's August, and you got your haunted house that's like in construction right now, right?
Yeah.
And you got a bag here that is like, these are your haunted house plans, right?
Well, one of the things that I would say is that Timur started his official haunted maze, and it wasn't even a maze at that point because he was 11 years old. But when I had my brain tumor...
your brain Timur.
My brain tumor.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
No.
And Dan was going to
he's
work.
too old for that.
And Dan was going to work, and I was sleeping all day, and we were very worried about Timur and what he was going to do all day. And this was in the summertime, and you started building your first haunted maze. And it went straight. There wasn't much maze to it. But
it was a
probably,
hallway.
because he was only 11 years old, it probably went from here to that wall. And I remember that it went right up our sidewalk, and everybody that was coming to visit me had to go through that little tunnel. So whether it was a pizza delivery man or people delivering food or relatives, they all had to go through that. And that was the first year.
And what is that? So when you do a haunted maze, I've been calling it a house. But it's like, do you go to the front door of your house? Is that where the customer goes? Do they go to the front door of your house and enter your home, or do they go around the house?
So my house is like a regular house right here, and then there's a yard around it, and leading up to it are some stairs. So then down there, people wait to get up.
Well, the first year, it went right up to our door.
Right.
But then after that, the next year, he said, I'm going to build it around the house. And we were saying, Timur, that's crazy, because we live in a house that's on a hill, and to go around it, just to get up to our house, there's a lot of steps. Our garage is at ground level, and then you have to go up a lot of steps.
Well, see, now you're scaring me already.
And then,
just know you'll burn calories if you go.
Yes. And then to go around the house, which is where he wanted to build the whole haunted maze, there's steps all over because it's on a hill. So it's actually quite dangerous.
So you never go through the Bootzin home.
No.
You're not opening your home to strangers and because you'd have to have people just with knives to protect
That's
you
funny
against.
you say, because last year with all the chaotic, I'm walking through my house, and all of a sudden there's a little old grandma standing there where's the restroom? I'm like, right there. Do I know you? And then I'm waiting there for her to finish, and then I'm waiting there for 10 minutes because there's a random old grandma in my house. I'm like, the exit's this way, so here, I'll escort you out.
And then
to my house.
And she went, no, Sonny, I'll escort you to hell. And you were like, no, my hubris this. I had fun imitating horror, and now I'm in it. I mocked death, and I am now its plaything. I should have known. This is my creep show. You know what a creep show is? It's a vignette. It's a horror vignette. All right. So I just want to show. I don't even know, because you started bringing this out, and I was like, save it for the stage, because I just want the. I mean, this
and
this to
mind
me
you, Dan, this is stuff that he did when he was 11 and 12
this is
years
his
old.
horror house, his haunted house file. So you're
This
okay.
is when he was 11 and 12 years old. So,
Mixed. I guess.
well, maybe
Nah.
12 or 13.
That one's from 2014.
So I see what's in here is like there's waivers.
So those are workers that applied.
Right.
Interns,
I would call
Well,
them.
they're his friends.
Yeah.
There's friends.
Yeah, and
he
I think we
wanted
all
them
know the
to
difference.
Yes.
Cha-chong. That's a cash register not opening.
Yes.
Let's face it. Let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that. Are people paying? What are they giving you a buck at the door? What's the where's the wheels getting greased here?
we actually go by donations at the end. So if they liked it or got scared,
Oh, I
we
like
have
at the end. That's nice.
Yeah, we have a donation booth at the bottom of the stairs that says donations, and that's actually a booth. So like on some nights we'll have a person waiting in the booth. Like last year we had a clown theme. So we'd have like a clown in there, a person that looked fake, and then after someone put a donation in, they'd move. So,
all right. Well, So so it's all on donations. So then you take that and you what? Do you put it all into the haunted house? Or?
yeah, it actually goes back to all the money we spent on the house.
I see. I see a map here. It's just a bunch of quadrants and it says plastic
Well,
everywhere. And there's here's a drawing of dismembered arms.
The thing I wanted to point out were these were all things that he had.
Just ideas.
Are
yes,
those
and
boobs?
he's-
Are those
but
boobs
what-
or pencils?
But these are things that he did when he was 11 and 12 years old.
Right.
Those are teeth, but in your perspective, I could see how those look like boobs.
Yeah. Well, it's called misogyny. She uses that to consume me.
Whoa.
It's myth. It's myth.
Deep, man.
All right. I don't know. It's a
So
stack
Timur
of
is
things.
16 years old now. That was one of the things I wanted to point out. And he started this when he was 11.
Right.
And-
This is the thing that I like about it. Because you need my approval. But I like that you said, oh, my son's gonna do a haunted house, and like, okay. And I like it. I mean, it's neat. It's cool that you're into it and you keep putting more and more energy into it. And next year might be the year that you're like, oh, haunted houses are dumb. But more than likely, some kind of weird morph is going to happen where you're like, oh, you know what I really like about haunted houses? You know what I'm doing? And there might be some weird offshoot of that. Or you may be one of the lucky people that's like, and I found out I love it'll be 2048 and you'll be like, I'm the master of haunted houses, or just this one. I want to ask you, like, what do you think? And there's no wrong answer to it. Just like the most dumb, like childish caveman answer that you want to give. Like, what's the pleasure? Like, what draws you back to it? What do you really get out of the whole experience of making a haunted house and having people come through it?
Well, it's a community thing that happens. So all the neighbors come, and then from actually 6 to 7 p.m. is the less scary version for little kids like her age.
Oh,
to
there's
go through.
See, I think you guys invited me to that one, right? Like,
Most likely.
All the neighbors do get involved, and there is a lot of generations. So we have little kids like you that are working the haunted maze, and Timur's got his friends.
Probably like 4-year-old
High
girls
school
are the
friends.
easiest, like haunted house worker in the world. They could just put an Easter dress on them and have them just stand and stare. As long as they can just hold still for like an hour, like that's probably the most
And
terrifying
it's terrifying.
thing. They beckon with a lace glove. It's like they're like holding something random, not like a bloody knife because it's over the top. Like they're just holding like an apple or like a gerbil or a football with like a pentagram on it. I don't know.
You're not far from the
Or like
truth.
or like a piece of scariest thing in the world. 4-year-old girl in a nightgown holding an O-ring from a space shuttle.
Oh shit. Think about it.
And just with a look of confusion on her face. So
The face I have right now, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
it's just like let me repitch that. Like that's what I would project onto it. If it was like a girl holding like a piece of, so it was clearly like a piece of like crucial aeronautic equipment. You know what I'm saying? It's like some
The
dark
idea
shit.
is that a bunch of people are gonna die because of this child.
Just something specific. It's like that girl's not supposed to be holding that, and it's like what is that? It's like a big nut, you know, like an industrial sized like washer that's like rusty or something, and she's just holding it up and going like, and you're like, where did you get that? And then you just hear, ah! And this huge crash. That's terror. Like you can use that. Like.
I'll take that into consideration.
But aside from it being, because if you just wanted to do community stuff, then that's great. Like you're very, you know, that's a good answer, and I'm not saying it's an insincere one. It's you like contributing. Like you like the feeling of like the neighborhood is like. There's a tradition and they're coming over and you're like you're doing this thing that people know. Oh, there's Timur. He's the guy that does that haunted house thing every year, and it's like consistency and tradition. And you have this role. Like I'm the shoemaker. I'm the barber. I'm the guy that saves your life. I'm the like whatever. You have this role. And but now just a subset of that. The terror thing, the horror thing, the idea. Because you could do that with Christmas, you could do that with, you could do that with Easter, you could do that with no holiday at all. You could do that with like a bicycle race around you could organize like a marathon where everyone walked on their hands and the proceeds went to the next year's marathon. Like, people being scared, does that like, do you like that?
That's the first question I've ever got asked by someone.
Your guidance counselor should have been the first. He should have said, "Do you like scaring people, Timur?"
No comment.
Well, do you like a good night's sleep?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. No, who doesn't is right. Let me tell you something about Casper mattresses. Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly low price. Now, as a cool kid, does that appeal to you in any way?
Not really.
No, you're right. It's not appealing to kids. This is engineer stuff. But what about the fact that it combines springy latex and supportive memory foam to create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce?
It has a 100-day guarantee.
Yeah, 100-day guarantee. You can try it out for 100 nights. If you don't like it, bring it back for free. We don't care.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me, and I know this is what people say in a commercial, but I really am, are you telling me, Crazy King Spencer, that there's a mattress company that lets you try a mattress for 100 days, and at the end of 100 days, which is a mattress's life, I mean, I'm like,
yeah.
That's like,
It's
you know,
the best years of a mattress are the first 100 days.
Well, I mean, 100 days is like, that's like if you try a mattress for 100 days and then go, I didn't like it, you have a right to, but you're lying.
Yeah. Not only are you lying.
Because if you laid on something for 100 days, you can't tell me you didn't like it. But maybe you're busy.
But I mean, maybe you're just, hoodwinked by the fact that Time magazine named it the best invention of 2015.
The best invention in general?
Yeah, it's a mattress that won't disappoint. Now,
in a world where we've landed on the moon, I guess the idea is like a slow invention year.
Yeah, well, no, it's exactly the opposite. It's actually the biggest invention year of 2015.
Self-driving cars, artificial intelligence.
No, Casper mattress, Dan. They ship anywhere in U.S. and Canada. I got one. It came in this box the size of a mini fridge. I accidentally cut it open. It was full of gold coins. It's a $2,000 value just hidden away in a mattress.
All right, wait a minute. Is that allowed?
I mean, I'm not saying that's normal, but that's just my experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a Casper mattress, and all of our immigration problems were solved.
Whoa! Now we can't say that's connected.
No, but it did
think
happen.
about it.
It did happen. Sorry, Timur, we can't all have a donation box at the end of the.
Here's the upshot, Timur. If you use the promo code Harmon at checkout at CasperMattress.com, you can get $50 off. Yeah.
$50 off of a 100-day guarantee of a free mattress.
Now that's a good night's sleep. That's also the best invention of 2015.
Wow. Casper. The first name in softness, now in ghosts and mattresses.
Yeah, that's Casper.com/Harmon, Casper.com/Harmon. Over. Okay, we're done.
Slash Harmon, not Harmontown.
So what's your favorite ghosty, Timur? Do you like goblins? You like Grim Reapers? I'm partial to gnolls.
Once again, no comment.
Okay. Wow. I mean, it's weird to plead the fifth in an interview, but I don't know which. I don't know which footage you watched before you came here.
It's these PR lawyers these days. They're getting in early.
But okay, here's a question for you. All right, so you're like the pit boss at these things, like at a casino, you know, like you're running the whole thing. Like it's a Timur production. Like you're top dog, right?
No, my parents are.
So millennial. All right.
Well, let me tell you a story about that. Yes,
I gave birth to him, and couldn't get away with killing him. So I dominate his life. And
this is his thing, and of course we have the ultimate say. But it's like when he invited all of his school friends to help out, and he was probably like 13 or 14, and his friends, it was supposed to be something that they were. It's going to be something cool and fun that they do together. But then at a certain point, because Timur takes his haunted maze so seriously, they started accusing him of being really bossy.
Uh-huh.
And,
heavy lies the crown, my friend.
This is why he's no commenting.
Yes.
His enemies are looking for a weakness.
And at one point, they started to revolt. And they said they weren't going to put up with it anymore, and they started to have a skateboard party down in the cul-de-sac.
Season 4.
And of course, he came up to me extremely frustrated because he wanted his friends to be there helping him, and they weren't going to have any more of it. So at that point,
did they do a Muppet episode?
Yeah.
You don't know how much I share this.
Yes, yeah, I'll bet. So at that point, I went down there and, called them up, and they were looking at me like, what are you going to do about it?
Holy shit, this has gone, this is crazy because it's like, it's a haunted house, and then it's like, this is really scary.
Yes.
It's scary how not scary they're being.
Yeah, they're like it's like this is like purge anarchy.
Yes,
like they got like skulls on their heads and they're like skateboarding. Like, we're the real
not
ghosts.
Doing things to alarm people.
Yeah.
And then Timur said that he wanted to fire them, and they said, "You can't fire us. We're working for free."
Whoa.
And so he said that he would pay them so he could fire them.
Nice.
I can't. I mean, this is just like humanity thinks we have so many levels of sophistication, and that is just that's global politics played out. Just like
exactly.
That's it.
So
like, okay, you're a territory.
So at that point, I kind of asked the guys. I said, "Let me ask you something." I said, "Do you guys want to be a part of something that's really cool, or something that's something that's just really, really lame?" I said, because you're going to go back to your friends, and they're going to ask you, they're going to say, "Man, that haunted maze was really lame," or they're going to say, "That was really cool."
Oh. I didn't understand at first. I thought you were going a different direction, but that's a lot more encouraging.
Yeah.
It's positive.
And so that at that point, they said, we want to be a part of something that's really cool. And I said, well, Timur's getting really frustrated because he's trying to make this really cool, and he's not getting any help from you. So then at that point, they all kind of rallied around, and they, started helping Timur. But so that's, a typical teenage thing.
But it sounds like mainly you went through it. Like you
well, but he was practically in tears. So
I doubt that. I'm sure he was fine. He's probably used to that.
He's watching this all with a cocktail, watching through a window like Bruce Wayne. Yes, let her have it, mother.
Well, these are all his best friends.
What is it? Morgan Freeman comes in and goes, "Sir, we found a new way to scare people. Let's take a look, Lucius. Where's your mother? She's out talking to the riffraff." Well, here's what I was going to ask you. So, you're the boss, and I get it now. Like saying yes to that is like, yeah, of course, you gotta say, well, creator is a myth. Really, it's a collaboration. I get it. God damn it, I'm always distracting myself. When the show is actually going, when the thing is running full swing, what do you prefer to do? Do you walk around like Robert De Niro in Casino, like observing, or do you actually immerse yourself in like one jack-o'-lantern?
Well, I'll stand in the front in the beginning, and then I'll wait there until my ADHD kicks in, and then I'll go back and start scaring people.
Yeah. That's what Dan does.
No. Except I give myself ADHD with a drug called Adderall because I don't have ADHD. Except don't tell my doctor that. But yeah, so you're saying, wait, so you go scare people, but what do you do? Are they you just grab a dull machete and just wander, or is there like a spot you like?
I just go to whatever spot's open. So depending on the night, how many actors. If we're short on actors, I'll just stay in and like help scare. But if we're good on actors, I usually stay down until I get bored.
Stay down like in front.
I like help out. Like, oh, go ahead, wait here, or go. Whatever.
So surely there's been like, okay, there's been some mishaps, right? Has there been complaints, or somebody went through, they're dissatisfied?
Yeah, there's been a few of those. I actually remember the first. Maybe like the third year we were into it, there were like maybe 5 or 6 of us actors, and then I remember there were these little kids that came up and they came down, and then we didn't establish at the time where we could stop scaring people. Like
they didn't establish what the safety zone is.
Yeah. So a couple of my actors
problematized.
A couple of my actors start scaring these little girls, and then they start running down the street, and we're in a cul-de-sac, so it's like round, and I assume like that right after you exit, that's it. But then they start chasing them all the way down the street, and I'm like, and come on, these are little girls, 6 and 7, come on.
Well, I was going to say the other thing about running a haunted maze is, when he was younger, like 11 or 12 years old, it was actually quite cute. And people would say, this is really good. But then at a certain point when he got older, it started getting really scary. And we actually had one parent who was throwing a party and brought his whole party of kids to the haunted maze. And because that was a year where it was kind of the turning point and things had gotten really scary, and a couple of his actors chased this party all the way down the street, and the kids got really scared. And the parent came back and said, he goes, you know what? He says, I have a couple of girls crying here. He says, they're going to go back home terrorized. He says, and you guys, you need to establish a safety zone. But he was right. He was right.
I guess he's right, but I hate him.
He's right.
We all hate him right
he
now.
Was right. Unless it was one of your kids.
If we were him, if he was, if he was humanized.
If it was one of your kids, you'd be back.
If it was one of his kids?
Yes, if he had a kid and it came.
Oh, well, it was.
Yeah.
It was Dan.
And you know what? He was right.
But that's what we
at that point, we had to establish some rules for the actors, like you don't go down the steps. And, so, I mean, it's interesting because as Timur's gotten older, and things getting scarier, there's a lot of things that a person doesn't have to, you never consider when a kid is younger, and it's kind of cute,
And it's a whole area I'd never go into because when I go to haunted houses, it's a whole game of like, I don't want to. It depends who I'm with. I don't want to miss out on stuff, and then so everyone's going to do this thing. But I genuinely like. I have a really low threshold, and I my therapist says I startle easily for various reasons. She gave me a license to be easily startled, like if I, and like I get scared, like if my girlfriend's in the bathroom and she's brushing her teeth, and I go, "Are you almost ready?" Yeah, I'm just brushing my teeth, and then I'll like go and pick up a sock, and if I turn around and then she's not in the bathroom but she's in the living room and I hear her voice from the wrong room, I'll go, ah! It's not even seeing anybody. I'll just like if someone passes the salt and then it's where it's not supposed to be, ah! Like I have this like visceral reaction. So what I'm saying is because of that, knowing that people are coming through, they have all these different relationships with being scared. Some people are like, I in my wildest dreams, I'd love this punk rock haunted house where people chased me all the way down the street because fuck this March of Dimes bullshit. Like this is.
But you're an adult.
This is like mon pop
and
punk rock.
And sometimes you pay to get scared.
Yeah, and because it's like Tabasco sauce. It's like I want to burn my tongue. I know it's not real. I want to feel like it's on fire.
Exactly.
And then it's like my little girl got scared. You need a highway cone to establish. And then everyone's like, well,
what's interesting is we have little kids that are so brave, and we have adults that are crying. So there is.
That's going to be me. I just here's what I do. I'll just like I yelp and like a high pitched scream like when anyone scares me, like anything that's not supposed to be where it is. I go ah! and it'll scare other people. Right. And then I feel bad, and then they scare me because they're screaming. Like I stay away from haunted houses. So but I think it's a smart thing to have like the kiddie time where. So, like, what do you do when you scare a little kid? What's the difference between scaring a kid and scaring when you do it? You have little kid. Give us some examples of how to choke up on the scaring bat.
A year or two back, we tried to do this thing called the pumpkins and the goblins. So if there's a little kid going through, we'd call them the pumpkins, so that would mean you don't scare them as much. But if we say goblins, then the actors know to step up their game.
So you're calling that ahead. We got 2 pumpkins coming.
Yeah. It was a nightmare trying to get it all figured out. But we stopped that and figured out the 6 to 7 p.m.
Yeah, that makes more sense because pumpkins are going to come with goblins, and so what are you supposed to do? 2 pumpkins, 3 goblins. Said 3 goblins. The one pumpkin is it has PTSD.
That's exactly what happened.
Boy, all right. So commitment is a theme. Terror. Hierarchy. A weird, fun blend of these phrases. Helicopter mothering and also, but you're turning him loose, like you're letting him explore his inner Ted Bundy. Like you're going like, okay, so you love this haunted house thing, but then you're like down there doing labor relations for him.
No, the only time I show up is actually on Halloween.
Do you and Dan, your husband, do you guys actually? Do you go check into a hotel while he does the haunted house because the sound? Or
no, we actually are there because a lot of times I'll take our dog down for all the little kids that get scared, and I dress up our dog in a costume, and people show up with their little kids, and then sometimes I'll run the booth and play the scary clown in the booth. But and Dan helps him build it sometimes, but really Timur and his friends are the ones that build all of it. And
what are the do's and don'ts? Okay, creatively, haunted house craftsmanship. What's hack? You know what hack means? Like,
explain.
Like untalented. Like Catch Penny, Puerile.
2000 and late.
like it's what the amateurs do. It's like Bush League. Like easy shortcut. Like like even if it does get a reaction, it's like, oh, but that's not like what a good haunted house guy does.
Well, one of my main things is I make sure, since I don't know how all my actors are acting wise, I make sure they all have a mask on. I'm not letting them try to explore their acting skills here. No offense to my actors.
So everyone is dehumanized and controllable. Yeah,
It's an opportunity for body work.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It keeps them interchangeable. No one can make an argument. It's like, look, I'm Damien. You know they're coming for me. The way I scare them with my eyebrows.
Well, you know what's funny too is that Timur would get really, really frustrated because he would, when a cute girl would come through the haunted maze, he would get mad because his actors, which are his friends, would not stay in character.
Yeah, one of my friends like, you're hot. It's like, come on, bro.
Oh.
Yes,
That is just another form of terror. Yeah,
Exactly. That's the haunted house she's trying to escape.
Right.
A haunted house with a glass ceiling. Oh, well, I mean, they're 16. I learned this at 42. And it was only to try to not get booed on my podcast. I wasn't because I was an evolved person. I just figured out that women have a hard time. So all right. So that's interesting. So that's a note. Like, don't. It's a selfless job scaring people at a haunted house. You don't get to like. Same would go for someone writing a parking ticket or a judge or anything else. You're an impersonal cosmic force. If you're not a hack, you're gonna stick to your role and rev your prop chainsaw, and it doesn't matter if like a redhead comes through. You're not gonna try to impress her.
Yeah, well, I feel like if you're wearing a mask, you don't have to be self-conscious that someone will identify you or something. So you have a mask on. So
You hear that, kids?
they're at.
just words to live by.
We all wear masks.
But yeah. So okay. So what are your rules on touching?
Well, I have a sign outside that says actors won't touch you and you don't touch them.
Nice.
Okay. So here's the thing. Such a relief. Like I like when I see that, I'm like, yeah, well, good, I guess. But at the same time, something in the back of my brain is like, well, but now, like, did you ever struggle with that? Did you in your career from 12 to 16? Was there a time when that sign had to go up, or did your philosophy change? Were people like grabbing people's shirts or anything?
Well, I was never a fan. I know there's those haunted houses that grab your like feet or ankles or whatever they touch you. I'm not a big fan of that.
That's New York shit.
Yeah.
That's where Dino goes. Yeah. Like you grab their feet.
Dungeons.
Yeah. But so you were never a fan. You're like I like. But so what's your favorite? Like I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like is it like is your bag of tricks primarily based on like I'm walking and I can't see everything, and then just a dude jumps out like from behind something? I hate to I sound like I'm demeaning your profession, like I'm boiling it down to something. But there's also like I don't know, like hands reaching through things. Why am I pretending I'm an expert in what you do?
You'll have to come through, Dan.
I'm gonna come through, but during the kiddie hour, and I'm gonna periscope the whole time so that if I shriek, I can sell it. But is it like you don't want to answer that because then you'll be like that'll be you giving away your recipe.
So wait, are you asking?
Eat the mic. Tell us the secrets.
Well, if the darker it is, the better. So, if someone's not wearing a mask and it's dark, it's better. And like, never mind.
It's all good.
All right.
Hey, it's hard. It's hard to be up here. He's doing a great job. We're all doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, also it can be kind of hard trying to get people to come because we live on the end of at the end of a cul-de-sac. And tell them
This
how
year
you did
we've
it.
got something that will catch your attention for sure.
Shit.
You can't miss
I don't
it.
know.
Are you guys really hurting for traffic? I mean, how, like, that's the other thing. What about bandwidth?
Oh, if there's 2 cars on the cul-de-sac, you have traffic already.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying like foot traffic going through your haunted house. Like, are you really craving? How much do you think you can handle?
Well, we have like security guards / like they help like when the people come through.
You can scare people. You can turn around a lot of scaring people per minute.
Yeah, I think so.
Because if we're plugging your haunted house, we're plugging my house because you're my neighbor.
I just realized that.
That's the scariest thing of all, is that I'm going to have just people in my kitchen. But that's fine. There'll be fans, and that'll be fine. But
we thought you could dress up as the Psycho Woman, and from your window.
Wait, that's something, I never even, like...
Dress up
Dan
like a
loves being
granny
inside.
or your mom.
Well, that can
Put
help
you in a
me...
rocking chair.
That could help me, like cope with my... If I just played a part at the haunted house.
Yes, and then we can say...
Or is that cheating? That's cheating.
Look up at you, and you'd be in your window doing this.
I need to... like play it from my house. I can just, like... I can just do weird things, like...
We'd look up at your window.
I thought that's what you were responding positively to.
No, I was thinking about being down there and just being like a mummy that goes like,
no,
whoa!
You can
but you're
stay
talking
in
about
your
I'm pacing
house.
my apartment, and I just keep going like, I can't figure out my third act. Bang! Over and over again. Like, fade in on, bang! Daddy, why? No, shut up. It's for you. Like just like weird shit going on, like silhouettes and like
Timur, tell them how you would get people over to your haunted maze.
I had an idea one year to make cards, business cards. So we make them, design them, and then hand them out to people at school. And then I give a bunch. So I have a bunch of friends that come to work in the haunted house that don't go to my school. So I have friends from all these different schools. So I give them cards. And they hand them out to all the people at their school, and then the word travels.
And then you had flyers.
Flyers.
And where would all you and all your friends go?
Stores, and where people
lots.
are. Parking.
And
I mean, I feel like
elementary schools. And then the other thing they would do is they would go door knocking, inviting people to come.
You're soliciting. You're knocking on the door, going like, "Would you like to have the shit scared out of you?"
Yes.
I'm thinking Thursday. Yeah. Well, we can. It's early. The point was to bring you in early because I wanted to showcase. Because if it was October and I was like, "This guy's working on a haunted house," it'd be like, "Who cares?" It's weird, in a good way, to be 16 and be in your 4th year of this level of commitment to haunted housery. You're supposed to be so distracted by some of those people walking through there that you spend the next 5 to 8 years living in an existential vacuum and thinking everyone's robots and just going like this on a typewriter, doing derivative things, but really just fantasizing about like just asphyxiation. That would be normal, and listening to a lot of INXS, Phil Collins, Jane's Addiction, and Sinead O'Connor like sprinkled in there.
Well, one of the things that we thought, because he starts in May, he starts when school lets out. And so he would always, I would tell him, I said, Timur, I said, you know what? I want my yard for barbecues. And he would always say, Mom, I'm already behind schedule. So, while other people are going to pool parties and barbecues, Timur is working on his haunted maze.
People are living a normal life. I'm working on the haunted house.
When does business start? When does it go up?
I'm always bad with times.
Me too. Maybe that's part of the appeal. Is you're like, I know what time it is now. It's Halloween time.
It starts the second Friday of October.
Second Friday of October.
And then Friday, Saturday.
That's catchy. Second Friday of October. Who's gonna forget that?
And then so on. And
so okay, all right. So but there's a website. Is it an easy URL?
Yeah, AmbroseHauntedMaze.com.
AmbroseHauntedMaze.com. We're
the
normal way to
like
spell
it sounds,
all those
you
words.
jerks. It's a ghost of literacy over there. Am I right, folks? So scary.